Namo Buddhaya, Namo Amitabha. Hello everyone. So in the last video we talked about the second noble truth, how there is the cause of suffering, and the cause of suffering is our craving, tanha, our desire, our attachment. Fortunately, the Buddha did not just stop there. The Buddha also told us there is the cessation of suffering and the path that leads to the end of suffering. So in the third noble truth, the Buddha told us that the suffering can be ended through the elimination of craving, of tanha. So if craving is the cause of suffering, of course, through elimination of this craving, it can help us end sufferings. It's very logical. It really makes sense. And remember last time we talked about the craving, the tanha really refers to the craving to unwholesome desires such as sensual pleasures. And in the fourth noble truth, the Buddha talked about there's a path that can lead to the end of suffering. And to most people who practice Buddhism, one will have heard of the Noble Eightfold Path. So today let's discuss the Noble Eightfold Path in detail. So if one examines the Noble Eightfold Path, one would know that Buddhism is actually not negative or pessimistic. Sometimes people think, oh, in Buddhism you can't do anything. It's not really like that. The Buddha did not tell us not to do anything, but rather to do the right thing. And we'll know that when we go through the Noble Eightfold Path. So first, is the right view or the right understanding. For instance, one has the right view of the Four Noble Truths that we just talked about. And also one understands the natural law of karma and how death is not the end. And there is also rebirth or reincarnation after death. So the second is our right intention or right thoughts. So our intentions and thoughts are really important because they're the forerunner of our actions. So here the right intention refers to our renunciation. When it talks about renunciation, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to run off to a monastery, but really it's more about the renunciation of our craving, of our desire, and also to renounce our ill wills and harmlessness. So these three are the direct opposite of the wrong intentions, which are craving or desire, ill wills, and harmfulness. It's important that we cultivate the right intentions. So with the right understanding, then one should strive to apply one's mind to achieve those goals. And third, it's about the right speech. So the right speech should be easy to understand, and no lying, no abusive speech, no gossips. In life, how often our wrong speech can lead us to suffering and afflictions. So it's important that we practice the right speech. And the fourth is the right actions. So the right actions is about non-killing, non-stealing, and no sexual misconduct. So these are really about basic morality that one should observe. With the wrong actions, it will really lead us to suffering and afflictions. With the right actions, it can help us to reduce or eliminate our sufferings. Even if one is not a Buddhist, one should observe this basic morality. And the fifth is the right livelihood. So the way that we live our life, we sustain our life, should not involve in killing or harming other beings. And one should not engage in illegal trades and trades of weapons and also things that will harm others' mind, such as liquor and intoxicants. And six is the right effort. To do anything successfully, we need to apply the right effort. So here, the right efforts refers more about how we can guard our sense doors, our sense faculties. Right effort specifically refers to prevent the arising of unwholesome mental states that have not yet arisen, and also to eliminate the unwholesome mental states that have already arisen and try to generate wholesome mental states. And also to try to sustain, to maintain, and to increase the wholesome mental states that have already arisen. So this is called the right effort. And with the right effort, one can arrive at the right mindfulness. So right mindfulness or the right meditation means that we are aware of our mind, aware of what we're thinking and also what we're doing. So it's important that we cultivate mindfulness in our everyday life, to not be absent-minded. When we are absent-minded, when we're not aware of what we're doing or we're thinking, then we'll end up in the wrong actions, wrong speech, and wrong thoughts, which will lead to suffering. So it's important that we cultivate the right mindfulness. And lastly, with the right mindfulness, it can help one to arrive at the right samadhi or right concentration. So samadhi also means enlightenment. And here it refers to have the one-pointedness of the mind, which can give us insight and activate our original wisdom for us to experience peace, tranquility, and equanimity. So these are the Noble Eightfold Path, which are all about to purify our body, speech, and mind. It's also about the morality, meditation, and wisdom. And also through the practice of Nianfo, it has also encompassed this Noble Eightfold Path. If one Nianfo with a sincere heart, a sincere mind, with the right understanding and the right intention, it also helps us to purify our body, speech, and mind. Nianfo is also a great meditation. If one practices Nianfo diligently, to repeat the name of Amitabha Buddha repeatedly, one can also arrive at the right samadhi to achieve the one-pointedness of the mind, to keep the pure mindfulness of Amitabha Buddha, which can help us to eliminate all defiled mental states. This is also called the Nianfo Samadhi. So actually, in the practice of Nianfo, it has already encompasses the practices of the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path. In fact, in the practice of Nianfo, it already encompasses infinite Dharma gates. And through the practice of the Noble Eightfold Path, one can achieve enlightenment and to liberate from all sufferings in life. Now, of course, this is not so easy. Why this theory may be easy, but it's not so easy for us to actually practice. That's why in the Dharma ending age, Shakyamuni Buddha recommended us to Nianfo and to attain rebirth in Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land. This is the easiest path, which it does not require one to realize samadhi first. Although you can also realize samadhi with your self-effort, but to most people this may not be possible to realize enlightenment entirely with their own self-effort. And that's why the Buddha recommended during the Dharma ending age, when the world is so full of desire, attachment, tanha, the easiest path for us is actually to Nianfo and to vow to be born in Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land. In that way, we can transcend the cycle of reincarnation easily and without the need to realize enlightenment first. So this is also called the other power method or the two power method. I know this is a difficult to believe Dharma, but throughout ancient time in China, many people have Nianfo, they have seen Amitabha Buddha and have attained rebirth in his Pure Land. And this we'll discuss more in the near future. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Amitabhaya.